Hi, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to tonight's Zoom. And I want to do the quick announcements first and get that out of the way because I want to give our guest speaker, Terry, as much time as possible. But those on the challenge, I want to encourage all the coaches, get that thing finalized as a coach and also start building your team. You've got till the 7th. You really, really want to. Now's the next 2 weeks when you should start putting people on the team, getting them familiar with being on the page, because that's how they're going to rack up the points, by getting to the page. You coaches that are still that little bit of fearful, jump in. The worst you can do is nothing. There's just no downside to this at all. And so I want you to do that. Convention, I've talked to so many of you this week that are pulling every string that you can to get there, and I'm so proud of you because I hear just today someone said they're going to go. They got everything put together, babysitting, all that stuff that's got to get done. And this will be, as always, these conventions, all these things are life-changing. So if you got a little thing that's holding you up, contact your mentor, us, or something like that, and let's see if we can strategize together and get that done.
Plus, it's fun, right? It's just plain fun being around all these wonderful people.
That is so true. Well, with all that, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Integrated Presidential. What was her name? Oh, Terry Miller.
Close friend.
And most of all, that's it, close friend. So, Terry.
Yeah, you can't remember my name, but
close. Very close.
Well, I was just teasing. But I didn't know if you wanted me to tell them what you're going to teach on, or you're just going to get out there and do it. I've watched you do it on personal Zooms with people. I've watched you do it in groups. And to me, if people can grasp what you're going to teach on tonight, it is a foundation to really building their business long term.
Well, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you and welcome everybody. And Jack and Sue, thank you for having me on your team call. It is it's fun to I always like being in more smaller, intimate settings. It's I can get more specific questions answered and get to know you all a little bit better. Otherwise, then you end up just being like in a big group and I don't get to see everybody. So thank you, and I'm happy to be here. So Jack, you talked about a couple of great things. I'm gonna kind of go off this, and I would love everybody to have available to them their mute and unmute button, because I love a lot of group interaction. So just have it available, so if I ask a question and you want to answer it. So first of all, super excited for the challenge. We're all aware that Dr. Anderson is going to be running a full-on group, or all of Take Shape for Life Challenge in the fall. And your group is going to be, the learning curve will be gone. So you'll be able to do that. The number one thing to prioritize right now in the group, in the challenge, and I totally always have to steal other people's lines because they always tend to be so much better than my own, is David's thought on it is, this is our job. Our job is to invite everybody to the party, follow up to invite everybody to the party, and then mingle with everybody while they're at the party.
Yes.
That's really all we have to do. This website has been designed so well that, I think a lot of people are like, oh, what about, how are they going to weigh in, or what? It is, trust.
Yes.
It's so simple. It is, it's beyond simple and beyond amazing. So I think that's the number one thing that I wanted to say. Then the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and Jack spoke on it also, was convention. If you already bought your ticket, you already found your roommate, you already got registered, I'm not speaking to you, okay? I'm speaking to all the other people who have not yet made a decision to go to convention, or possibly team members that you may have that have not yet made a decision to go to convention. My suspicion is that if you took the time to get on the webinar here tonight, that you actually want to assist us to get America healthy. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the way we get better at that is going and getting our training. and there's all, you know, Take Shape for Life is really such a baby company, such in its infancy. And if you miss an event, a large event like Take Shape for Life, it's like missing a whole year. I mean, it's like you blink and you miss it. So I'll just do one little shout out, Jack, for a convention like that. So, you know, my son says it far more gracefully than I, so I will steal his words. But if somebody needs you to come into this world, or somebody needs you to come out of this world, those are really good reasons to miss National Convention. But other than that, if you want to attend and you don't yet have it all booked and ready to go, or you haven't made the commitment, reach up to your mentor. And if the fundamental decision is, yes, I want to assist America to health, and yes, I want to grow my business, write down a list of, like they said on the leadership call last night, what would be the benefit of me going to convention? And then just kind of work backwards and say, what if I was to go? What would I need to do? Would I need to get time off from work? Would I need to buy an airplane ticket? Would I need to sleep in Jack and Sue's bathtub? You know, whatever. So the question really is, do I want to? And if you don't want to, then ignore everything I just said for the last 3 minutes. If you don't want to, you don't want to. No one's gonna make you. But if you actually want to assist, you know, grow your business and assist us get America healthy, that would be a pretty good thing to go. So with that said.
Sorry, can I say one thing before you start? Also, last Saturday on Brian's call, it was probably the textbook of people that are signed up and ready to go. It's probably it's a call that I've kept. If you're going and you haven't got that recording, please let me know and I'll send it to you, because all the leaders just lined out all the different things you need to do now to get ready to go. And it's just a great call.
It is. Yeah. How many of you on the call will this be your first convention that you go to, or you have team members going that's your first convention? That's their first convention.
I've got team members that are going.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely, Jack. Like if you haven't ever been, you'll be like, what am I going to a circus? Am I going to
what do I wear? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. All that was covered. And it was so perfect. Yeah. Brian always does, you know, whenever I'm privileged enough to be able to speak on Brian's call, I just am so thankful. Brian's A-team call is how we built our business. Yeah. We jump out of bed, go grab a cup of coffee in a bar, jump back into bed, and listen to Brian every Saturday morning. So, Jack, I also forgot to ask you, how long is your Zoom training here tonight?
We try to keep it to 30 minutes, but I mean, we have a guest speaker. I think if you can't stay, I am recording it, but I wouldn't miss this for anything. Basically, when you feel comfortable that you've presented it and they've answered their questions, then we'll close off at that time. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to be respectful to that. So first of all, how many of you have heard have heard Dr. Anderson talk about aim to stay? Okay. Does anybody want to be my guinea pig and come off mute that hasn't heard me present it and tell me what it means? Anybody?
Come on, guys.
I'm game.
Good.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was hoping that was going to be you. So really? Aim to stay. You're not familiar with it?
Say that again. I couldn't even hear it actually.
So aim to stay.
Yep, never heard it.
Okay. So aim to stay is an acronym that really describes how you set up your business. So the question you want to ask yourself is, am I going to just do this business? Am I just going to kick the can, just kind of do whatever lands and grow it to whatever? Am I just going to be happy at whatever? Or do you want to actually have your CEO hat on and actually develop into something very stable and steady and for your business? Who wants to do the steady and stable and be the CEO?
Yes.
That would be everybody on the line. Okay. Good. You got the right people on the call. So the thing is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So the thing is, so aim to stay is an acronym. And let's start with the stay part first. But so it's aim to stay the course, aim to stay the course of building something big, aim to stay with my plan, so that kind of think of it like that way, okay? So let's talk with stay. So stay is all about planning your business. Okay, because if you don't have a plan, you know, what many people do is they hit what they hit at the end of the month, and then they go draw a great big target around it and go, and that's what I meant to do.
Yeah.
How about we actually draw a target and then actually shoot to hit the target? You know, but I do want to say that, I mean, you probably know this, you know, the space shuttle, you know, was only on course 3% of the time. Constant adjustments. And that's the thing is, you know, it's all about adjustments. And one of the things that, you know, it's very important to know is that we set the course. I mean, the course for whether your goal is to be executive director, fully global, fully integrated global, or fully integrated presidential, the course has been set, right? It's the speed. You set the course. Take Shape for Life sets the course, and we set the pace. So, some people go fast, and some people don't go so fast, right? But doesn't matter. You know, if I said to you that if it was going to take 10 years for you to get to fully integrated presidential, would that be a better course than the current course you were on prior to Take Shape for Life?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, we all bring to the table our life experience. And so there are many things through your life experience that you will get to utilize for Take Shape for Life. There are, oh my gosh, there are so many, but there are so many that you don't need to utilize. And it's, Jack and Sue, wouldn't you almost agree it's the learning to unlearn?
Yes.
That really kind of trips you up?
Yep, absolutely.
The concept.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's, you know, I don't want to be pushy, or I don't want to tell people they're fat, which we don't, by the way, but, you know, I don't want to spend the money and go to convention, or, you know, so let's really start thinking about what we want versus what we don't want. Okay. So if I could wave a magic wand over your business in 6 months, where would you like it to be? And if I could ask you to please actually choose a possible goal. If you're a brand new coach on the call, please don't say that in 6 months you want to be a fully integrated presidential, because that's not possible. Okay. So think of where you're at now and where you want to be, and ask, and write down where you'd like your business to be in 6 months. Tony, since I've done a little bit of this role play with you, or I've had a couple appointments with you, can I role play a little bit with you?
Sure.
You don't mind?
I think.
Okay, Tony, okay. I will be gentle.
Okay. That's okay. You have to be. Just give it to me.
I just want to, you can put yourself back on mute for just a second, because there's a little bit of background, but I'm going to call on you in just a little bit. Okay. So what I want to talk to you is about the word STAY. It's an acronym. So S stands for strategic. T stands for tactical. A stands for activities or action. And Y stands for you or yours. So I'm going to give you a couple, one example for sure, and then I'm going to utilize Tony since I know her story well. Okay. So the first plan. So I just want you to understand this concept. Okay. So the concept is what is your strategic plan? So do any of you play chess? Okay, actually, how about this? Raise your hand if you kind of understand the concept of chess. Okay, so in thinking that in strategic plan, what is the strategic plan when you play a game of chess? Anybody want to come off mute that doesn't already know the answer, that hasn't heard me do this, that come off and tell me what the strategic plan is for chess? Come on, somebody.
That doesn't.
Okay, I gotta have interaction. Come on, somebody.
You want somebody that doesn't.
It's to capture the king.
With the king.
Okay. Who said that? Patricia?
Patricia said yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good answer. Almost correct. And the reason I like, and let me say, Patricia, most everybody answers that way. And that's why I like to use this example, because if we're not clear on how to set out our strategic plan and what tactics to use and what action steps, then it won't get straight. So in reality, the strategic plan for chess is to win.
Okay.
Okay. And the next thing, this is Patricia, you can answer this because it's the same answer. It's the answer you said. Is so the tactical plan is to
win the king.
Capture the king. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay. And then the action steps. Anybody want to guess on what some of the action steps could be?
Moving your men around.
That's it. Yep. And so, so if you know anything about chess, you know that the different pieces do different things. Like I know that little horsey moves up 2 and over 1, or up 1 or over 2, and they do different things. So the strategic plan is to know where the pieces go, and you're playing against your opponent. So you need to be not only thinking about your moves, but you're also counteracting counter moves to theirs. And a good chess player is 4 or 5 steps ahead of the game, which, just for the record, would not be me. But that is the way it works. So and so the you and yours in that scenario is you as the person doing it. The yours would be your opponent and the chess players. Okay, so that's how a strategic plan works. So do you see a little? Does that make sense a little bit to everybody? I'm gonna use a real life scenario too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Tony, I'm gonna use you as an example. Okay. So Tony and her husband have a huge desire to get over to Arizona. Correct? There he is. Right. Hi. Okay. So, Tony, tell me why do you guys want to go over to Arizona?
To move.
Why?
Well, because it would be a change. We're getting back. A lot of.
Okay, so Jim, I'm going to ask you this question. So tell me, so what is your desire? Why is your desire to move over to Phoenix?
For a change, for the warm weather, and a lot of golfing.
Okay, so, but why? Why do you want warm weather? Why do you want golf? And why do you want to change?
Because I've lived in Oregon all my life, and I'm ready for something different. And there's more people that are healthy over there.
Okay, I'm not necessarily going to agree with you on that one, but there may or may not. I'm not going to disagree, but there's people that need us all over the place. But okay, so could I say your strategic plan is to live in an area that's warm and has activity and to create the life you want? Could I go with your strategic plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Say it again.
What'd she say?
To empower time and freedom.
Perfect. So their strategic plan is to create the life that they're looking for, to have stability and freedom and time. Okay. So are we echoing or are we good?
I think we're echoing.
Okay. So Tony, when you're not talking, mute. That's how you avoid the echoing. Okay. So that's their strategic plan. So their strategic plan is to live in an area. I mean, to be healthy and happy and live the life they want, right? Okay. So that's their strategic plan. The tactical plan. So the tactics? Anybody want to come off mute? Not necessarily Tony and Jim because they know the answer. Well, it's the tactical aspects to that.
The steps that you want to take to get to the.
Well, actually, the steps are going to be the action steps, but so if their strategic plan is to create their life that they want, the dream that they want, the tactical aspects is they want to live somewhere where they want to live. They want to have a job that they love, that they can be fulfilled and empower other people. Okay, and so then the action steps are all those other things. So the action steps are, where do I want to live? What is my income going to be to produce there? Do I have to sell my house? You know what I mean? It's all those types of steps. And the you and yours in that is Tony and Jim agreeing on where they want to live. It's choosing the you and yours would also be the people that who he works with, if he resigns from a job and goes and finds another one. I mean, there's so many so many you and yours. Okay, so that's a very big strategic plan. That's a big one. Wouldn't you guys all say? I mean, that's a big life change, right? Okay, so so then where goes? So let's pretend that maybe Tony wants this more than Jim. Okay, let's pretend that. Okay, I have no idea. Just for the record, Jim, not throwing you under the bus. Just for the record, okay. But let's say that Tony wants it more than Jim. Okay, so her job, because she has a strategic plan. She wants to live, have freedom, and but Tony or Jim is maybe a little hesitant about income or whatever. So her job is to intrinsically motivate him to help with her strategic plan. So, and that's where the aim comes in. That's awaken his intrinsic motivation. So she's going to work. So let's say that he's a little hesitant. He wants to go, but it's like, Tony, I don't know if I can, if we'll have enough income while we're over there, or whatever. I mean, there's a variety of different things. It's too hot right there right now, So for example, so let's say it was the income thing. So she says, you know what, Jim, if I was to build my business up to an FIBC level, would that produce enough income would that make you feel comfortable? Because again, she's awakening his intrinsic motivation because she has a strategic plan. Let's say it's the heat. I promise that we'll get a house that has air conditioning and a pool. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all about awakening their intrinsic motivation. I want to give a better example, and we don't have any super young people here on the lines that have little babies at home. But do you guys all remember when your children were little? Okay, when they were little and you never had time for your spouse? Can we all say amen to that? You feel like you need about 10 more hours in a day, But so let's go with the example with a younger couple who has maybe a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Whoops, Lowell put it on. Okay, Lowell, you put it onto screen share, so you'll need to pull it off screen share. So go up to the top where it says you're viewing Lowell Hanson's screen and click on that. Click, don't share screen. No, Lowell, don't log in there. Jack, go down to participants and log out the Lowell. Okay, so here's a little bit of Zoom etiquette. Jack, you can lock the screen so nobody can do that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but because that happens at least once almost in every one of my Zooms. That's how I knew how to fix it. Okay, so anyway, so let's say we got 2 young kids at home and a couple parents busy working, you know, that 2.6 kids, the white picket fence, the dog, the 2 careers, right? So in that scenario, the strategic plan is a healthy, happy marriage. Okay? Their tactical plan is to have a date night all to themselves, you know, without kids crawling on them and all that stuff. So they choose a date. Their date is Saturday or Friday night. They're gonna 8 o'clock. They're gonna rent a DVD, have a bottle of wine, and have some mommy and daddy time all to themselves. Okay, so the actions that would require for that, they'd have to choose. They chose the date. They had to get the DVD, choose a bottle of wine, and make sure that they were all by themselves. Okay, and when you've got a 2-year-old to 5-year-old, that's not likely. Okay, if any of you remember that time in your life. Okay, so with that said, so the you and yours is the mommy and daddy and then the kids in this scenario. And so what the mommy does, so her potential, she has a strategic plan, but what could get in the way is that the kiddos might need something, or she's not prepped, or she gets a little too excited and just tries to push them into bed and say, go to bed, mommy and daddy want time by themselves. The chances she says, go to bed, mommy and daddy want time for themselves, the likelihood that those little babies are going to stay in bed are not likely. Could we all agree? You know, okay. How many of you am I describing something that happened in your life? You know, so what she needs to do is aim with her babies. She needs to awaken their intrinsic motivation to stay in bed to help her with her strategic plan. But you're not that direct. You don't say, go to bed, stay in bed so mommy and daddy can have time alone. She makes sure that she has an early dinner for them. She starts talking about the things that they're going to do on Saturday morning when they wake up. She bathes them early. She reads them their favorite story, and she texts them in 15 minutes early just to make sure all is good. Basically, she crosses her T's and dots her I's and loves all over them, so their love cup is completely filled up, so that when she comes back out, she gets to be fully engaged with her husband at 8 o'clock. So did that explain aim to stay really well? Okay, so how about we relate that on to Take Shape for Life? Okay, so let's see, who could I choose? Okay, so let's choose that somebody's next step and desire is to be a fully integrated or business coach. Okay, do we all know what a fully integrated business coach is? Okay, so let's say that somebody's next step is to create a little bit of stability in their business, so that they're not always stretching. They have some good team members to work with, and they've got a good amount of clients in the file. So they're looking for a little bit of stability in their business. Okay, so let's Jack, let's also go with a role play that if somebody wants to leave their full-time job so they can be full-time Take Shape for Life. Okay, so and let's say they make about $5,000 and that's what they need to replace. Okay, so their strategic plan is that they need to their strategic plan is that they want to be full-time Take Shape for Life. Okay, so their tactical plan, the tactical aspect, is they need to be FIBC to do it. That's going to produce approximately that $5,000 of income. Okay, so what is so in the tactical aspects, the FIBC is over 6,000 in frontline volume, right?
Right.
And but we want to do over 6,000 in frontline volume, so that we aren't desperate. So we're enjoying ourselves, and so that we have lots of people coming down the pike, so we can do it. What's the next step of FIBC? Who wants to come off mute real quick and tell me how many senior coach legs? 5. It's 5. So, but this is where the bugaboo comes in. And this is why aim to stay is so vital.
Yes.
So yes, in reality, it's 5 senior coach legs, but it's really all in how you're thinking about it. To be an FIBC, you need to be working with 5 people who want to be senior coach.
Yes.
It's not about putting a square peg in a round hole. You will have coaches on your team, and your job isn't to make them be senior coach if that's not what they want. Your job is to find 5 people who want to be senior coach or more. But what I'm going to talk to you about here is I'm going to talk to you about awakening their intrinsic motivation to want to be senior coach. That's where the skill set comes in. Okay? Because let me finish with this. The strategic plan is to be able to take Shape for Life full time. And to do that, you need to be producing about $5,000 in income. To do that, you need, in reality, probably 10,000 frontline volume, 5 or more senior coach legs, people who want to be senior coach, and over 15,000 in group volume. But the group volume is going to happen with all that other stuff. The way it works is that so then the next thing is the action steps. So let's say that you're only running about 4,000 in frontline volume. So in the action steps, the action steps is to get your frontline volume up to 10. So you do that in a variety of different ways. You work with your business coach, you meet a lot of people, you do a lot of pre-clients, you get them all in the challenge, there's just a variety of different ways. The next thing is working with 5 people who want to be senior coach. Okay? And that is the key. That's in the action steps right now. So let's say you have 6 or 7 people that you've sponsored on your team. Okay, actually, no, let's go with you have 3 people on your team. Okay? And they're doing 3 or 4 clients, but they're not quite hitting senior coach. Do you think that telling them that you want to be FIBC so you can stay home will make them want to get to senior coach?
No.
It might for a month. Okay, but it's not ultimately going to last because it's not their desire, right? So the biggest thing that I'm seeing that people are missing is that they are not awakening their intrinsic motivation with their coaches in every phone call. So let's go with the example. So you sponsored a coach. How many of you have sponsored a coach? Okay. So when you sponsored a coach, actually I'll have a couple of you pull off mute for a minute. So when you sponsored a coach, tell me just in one quick sentence, why did one of your coaches want to become a coach? Somebody come off mute and tell me. What was the reason they wanted to become a coach?
To be accountable. To the program.
Okay, accountable to the program. Okay, great. Somebody else? Okay, Tony, are you coming off?
Yeah. Okay, my coach to be able to stay home with her daughter.
Stay home with her daughter. Okay, great. Great. Anybody else?
Mine was they wanted extra $500 with bills.
Okay, to help with bills. Okay, great. Anybody else? Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a minute. First of all, most of you raised your hand and said that you had sponsored a coach. If you don't know why they want to become a coach, that's the first step for you guys. If you won't be able to assist them or move them forward if you don't know why they want to coach. And now let's kind of relate this back. Jack, I can tell this is going to go long. Okay, so I hope we're good. So the thing is that very similar to your clients. Like I suspect we're all pretty good. We could probably talk just about anyone into ordering a full variety pack, right? But unless we know why they want to get healthy, we have no ability to assist them to stay moving forward in their health. Would you agree? If at their first waiver, their first time that they become weary, if we don't have some ammunition or something, you know, like for example, I mean, you guys all know that sometimes we need to be an advocate for our clients, sometimes against them, right? Right. So and what I'm suggesting is that you do this with your coaches. If you don't know why they want to join Take Shape for Life, you won't be able to keep them on track or move them forward. Okay, so it's like, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't even have them order their kit if we don't know why. But let me also say, I want to ask you all: has your why changed? Jack, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say ours changed from originally we're just going to family and friends healthy, and then it got to where soon to see the grandchildren all the time. So,
yeah, and Jack, that's really my point. Is that I bet if you could go back in history and you could write down all the reasons you're going to coach, why you like coaching and everything, I bet your reasons have changed 10 times. But I also suspect that your seasons of life has changed 10 times. There were times when you had lots of hours in Take Shape for Life and your why was very clear. And then there were times that you had a whole lot of life going on around you and your why became a little bit distant because you had to take care of the immediate things going on in your life. So what I'm suggesting is that if you're not in full relationship with your coaches, their why may have changed, and if you don't know that, you'll be way off the reservation with them. Just, you know, I had a girlfriend that told me her husband said, I told you I loved you when I married you, and if it changes, I'll let you know. Mm-hmm. Okay? First, they're not married anymore, obviously. But that's really kind of the point. So don't assume that the reason they told you is always be double checking with them. But I also want to say that it's all in the conversation. So it wouldn't be like let's say someone says, well, I want to stay home with my daughter. So I'll go with one of those other options that I can't remember who said that. I want to stay home with my daughter. So, okay, so I noticed you didn't sign up any new clients, but you told me you wanted to stay home with your daughter. That's not going to get it done. Okay, obviously, we all know we're not going to say that, right? Or first of all, right? We're all clear that we don't talk like that to our coaches, right? Okay. So, but the way it would go is, Sue, I'll role play with you. Okay. So Sue, oh my gosh, you have about 4 or 5 great clients that you're helping and loving and supporting, and they are loving that. What are you loving most about coaching? And then they say the answer, you know, and then, well, great, because, you know, when you first, told me that you wanted to start with Take Shape for Life, you had a goal of being able to assist enough people so that you could be home full time with your daughter. And, you know, I wanted to visit with you on that because I want to ask you, what type of influence are you going to be able to have with your daughter more while you're home with her? Tell me about that. What's going on with you being away that's really breaking your heart? Could we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, like her first steps, and you know, and present, you know, a lot.
Exactly. You could go on and on and on, but the point is that she may have lost her dream because she doesn't yet have the full skill set and she's feeling a little weary, right? So it's your job to prop back up her dream for her. So again, you're being an advocate for her.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you want to do this in casual conversation. So let's say, for example, she says, well, you know, Sue, originally I thought that I did want to stay home, but that's really not in the cards right now. My husband lost his job and I have to be the breadwinner. But so then you go, okay, well, what would be your goal then? Then you just double check it. You assume that what they said is the last thing that they said is the truth, but don't go months or weeks and sometimes days assuming that what they said a year ago is what they wanted, because they'll be way on to a different thing. But again, sometimes you want to be an advocate for them, you know, when they get weary. But what I want to visit with you on in this scenario is that you have a strategic plan, which is for you to leave your job. And your tactical aspect of that is to work with 5 people who want to be senior coach. So you're working with your action steps are to work with your coaches to see if what they're looking for is a match to what you're looking to build. You know, and so basically you're aiming with them. You're awakening their intrinsic motivation. So but it's in every conversation. And the number one thing I want to pause here and say is, let's say they said, I want to leave my job so I can raise my daughter. But let's say they're not really willing to do the work. You know, you want to listen to what they're doing, not what they're saying. But again, keep building that dream for them and have patience. That it might happen for them a little bit later. They might need to be frustrated enough that they miss their daughter's first step or their first word or, whatever. But just keep filling their love cup and just keep building a picture and dialoguing with them. And that's where the you and yours come in. Okay, so it's you working with them, which is, them, and awakening their intrinsic motivation. And just so for example, let's say you talk to them and they developed a new client that they're just loving. And then I would say, oh my gosh, that is so exciting. You're becoming such a great coach. I can easily see right around the corner, you're going to be building a great foundation so you can be full-time with your daughter. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with your daughter this week. So you're always aiming with them. You're always awakening and their intrinsic motivation and assisting them to see this bigger for themselves because they don't understand yet. Okay, so that's how aim to stay works. So you have a strategic plan, you have tactics to have it happen, then you have your action steps, and then what you'll do is you'll aim with people who are going to help you reach your action steps. But you have to remember, it's ultimately helping them reach theirs too. That's the key. That's the win-win for this, right? So just back to our same scenario with the mommy and daddy who wanted to have a healthy, happy marriage. They would never go to their 2 daughters and say, or their 2 kids or whatever. I think at one point they were a boy and a girl and now they're 2 girls, but story goes on. And is that you would never say, go to bed because mommy and daddy want to be alone, right? That would absolutely not work. We're pretty sure that wouldn't work, right? Actually, let me say, when I tried it years ago, it didn't work. Okay, but the same way with your team, you have a strategic plan, and your job is to, like in the chess game, is to find the right people in the right spots to move forward. We want coaches who want to get people healthy. We don't need anyone. We need everyone. And not being attached to that. One little more scenario I want to give you, and then I do want to open it up for questions for clarity, is Dr. Anderson talks about emotional intelligence. How many of you are beyond happy that he trains us so well on that? Has that helped in every aspect of your life? Okay, so he said at Go Global something that was very, to be honest with you, I thought it said, Terry Miller. I thought it said on the screen, Terry Miller, I'm talking to you. It didn't, but it said, the highest level of emotional intelligence is patience. Okay? So the thing is you have your strategic plan and your tactical plan, but there's patience, because there's patience in developing your skill set, and there's patience in finding and meeting and developing the people who want what you want for your strategic plan. My best way to summarize this, the only analogy, and as you can tell, I'm big about analogies, is how many of you have ever gone to like a little fair or a carnival at some point in your life? Think of it like that. You know that little place where you shoot the water and the little horsies move forward in the carnival? And it depends upon whether you've got a 5-year-old shooting the water pistol or whether you've got somebody who just got out of the military, right? Depends upon how fast the little horsies go up. Or, you know what, there's probably other things that, like how well did they oil the little horsies that go, up the thing. But there's a lot of diversity and a lot of reasons why they go fast or slow. But that's what I think about when I'm thinking about my team. Some people move fast because they had the right skill set, they have the right desire, they have the right time, They have freedom. They already had their emotional intelligence set up. They didn't have to clean up any messes in their life. They'll just go fast. Okay? Then there's people who have never, ever, ever done anything like this. They're in debt up to their eyeballs. Their emotional intelligence is low, but they have the desire to really help people. The growth of their business is going to go a little bit slower. But is that up to me? It is not. It is up to them. It's their plan and it's their pace. And where the support comes in is in my patience. I'm going to love all over them, and I'm going to remind them not to compare themselves to anybody. But it is in reality that we all come to the table at different places in our life. I always like that saying that is, I can't carry your baggage. I have enough of my own. You know, we all have our stuff. I happened to come to Take Shape for Life with 17 years experience in a parallel company. I had been self-employed. I already had the skills about bringing anything up in conversation. I knew how to be organized. You know what I mean? But I didn't know about health, okay? So David came to the table. He knew all about health, but he had never been self-employed. I don't even know if he knew how to ever check his email, let me just say. So it was, you know, but together we had a combined skill set and we moved forward, and we were also beyond teachable. That's why we moved through fast. But there's, you know, so you just have to remember that it is all about patience and loving on people, but not being attached to whether they go fast or slow. Your job is to go find the people who want what you have. And work closely with your mentors to find out whether, if you're not moving as fast as you would like to move for your strategic plan, finding out with your mentor whether whether it's a skill that's tripping you up, an action, maybe I'm not taking enough action, or a concept, some thoughts that's going on that's not serving you. And if you trust your mentorship team, they'll guide you. Tony, you and I'm not going to call you out on what the specific skill set was, but we figured out pretty dang quick what a skill set that you needed to hone in on, didn't we? It did not take long. I mean, yeah. And it's in working with your team that your support team. But the thing is you have to ask yourself, how fast do I want to figure this out on my own? Do I want to go fast or slow? Either way is good. You know, we're not attached to it. Remember, we don't need anyone. We need everyone. But if you want to move, if you just tell your team, your support team, you know what? Tell me what's in my way. Is it a skill set? Is it an action or a concept? Let's giddy up. Let's move through this. Or but let me say, personal growth is hard. You know, we're not young pups here everybody here on the call. We're not all young pups. We've been through enough personal growth. Whether you're developing a new skill set, I learned how to scuba dive a couple weeks ago. Let me tell you, that was not easy. You know, it took 3 full days of my complete attention so I didn't drown in front of my son. I was highly motivated. And but it wasn't easy. But so learning this business is not simple. It is not. But if you want what you really want in your strategic plan, then all the action steps will be fine. So what you have to ask yourself is, if I'm not moving like I want to be, but I have the strategic plan, why am I not doing the action steps? What, you know, is it a skill, activity, or concept? Or do I not really want what I say I want? Or is the bang not worth the buck? I mean, there's so many things into it, but just, you know, and I also think that it's also really important to make sure that you not plan too far out when you're going a strategic plan. Jack and Sue, I like 3 to 6 months. What about you? Yeah. Okay, so believe it or not, I'm kind of done with that, but any questions, or was that pretty clear? Anybody want to come off at comments or questions?
Shy.
Bunch of shy people.
Yeah.
I know.
Anybody have a question?
Thoughts? How about it comments?
Okay, comments. I don't know why.
Well, I some more, I don't know. I think it's more action, and I need to get together with you, Jack and Sue, for a little bit more skilled as well. So A little bit more personal growth.
Well, Tony, and I think that is the thing to assess. So it's you've heard me talk about this. It's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. Mm-hmm. So if you're talking to a lot, so for example, if you're talking to a lot of people, first of all, I always qualify what a lot is, because some people think 5 is a lot. Some people think 50 is a lot. I think 50 is a lot, by the way. But if you've talked to 50 people and nobody signs up on program, there's not an activity problem. There's a skill set problem. Or a concept. Jack, it could be a concept too, right?
Right.
So let's say I spoke to 5 people and nobody has signed up, it's an activity problem, because 5 is not enough. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's just your mentors asking the questions. So for example, if someone says, I've talked to a lot of people and nobody will sign up, you have to ask more questions, because somebody could think 5 is a lot and some people could think 50. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's just drilling down, working with them, finding out their skill set, educating them on their skill set, but always talking with them again, looping it back around to what is their desired reason they actually want to assist us to get America healthy. Mm-hmm. So that's, if you know me, I like to tie a pretty bow around things. So if the number one thing is always be working with people, in relationship with people, and ask in your team members, what is their desired outcome? What is, and with the client, do it with the client too. So if if a client says, I don't want to be fat, for example, let's say the reason they want to get on program is they don't want to be fat. Well, we know that we could get them on program and they could not be fat anymore, right? Right? Okay, but if we don't not fat could be losing 20 pounds even though they need to lose 60. Mm-hmm. Right? So what does not being fat look like to you? Well, I would want to lose 60 pounds. Well, when was the last time you were 60 pounds less? What activities were you able to do? What things would you begin to want to start enjoying losing 60 pounds? I mean, you just keep asking all these questions so that when they get weary or they're tempted with a glass of wine or something, you can say, so you know what, it's your choice. You can have a glass of wine, but is that gonna get you closer or further away from whatever their ultimate reason is? Mm-hmm. But what I'm suggesting is that you probably already know how to do that all with your clients. We've had so much training on that regarding our class. But Jack, what I'm seeing is people aren't moving that same skill set onto working with their coaches.
Exactly.
Yeah, and especially when you're talking to them about being a coach. So one of the questions I say is, like Diana, I would say, so I can tell that you're ready to join us coaching, and I'm excited about that because we need a lot of coaches to actually get this job done. What blessings do you think Take Shape for Life would bring to your life? What would excite you? I mean, sometimes you have to draw it out of them. So now, and what would that look like? And how would that make you feel? And how would that affect the people you love and the people that love you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is that to you? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for their hot button.
Yeah.
I really want to know what it is. And I don't have a client profile sheet up here, but so on my client profile sheet up across the top,
right,
I have their reason they want to get healthy in big print and highlighted in yellow. And in my coach profile sheets, I have the same thing.
Right.
And often it's scratched out and written again, and scratched out and written again, because coaches change their mind all the time. But I stay in relationship with them. So that's all I got for you, Jack.
Well, thank you so much, Terry. And we want to thank everybody. All this is recorded. So if you have a coach that couldn't, or you want to take it and pause it, just let me know. Okay. Thanks again. We'll be here again. Next week. Go ahead, Terry.
Looking forward to seeing you guys all at convention.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, wait, there's a question here, Jack.
Somebody's a question.
I was going to ask Terry. Is this time at all? Or? Terry, just real quick, quickly, my well-experienced 30 days of being a coach.
Really?
Diane told me to use the structural tension chart, the cool vision chart, that one. Does that work for what you're saying?
You know what? It's basically the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, Jack and Sue, you can get over to him. The aim to stay structural tension chart that Dr. Anderson handed out at convention. It's the same thing. So basically, at the top is on a structural tension chart. The top is your desired outcome. Okay, so that would be your tactics. Okay, above that would be your strategic plan, and then your action steps would be underneath that. Does that make sense? I can't really see, Frank. So yeah, yep, that's perfect. Yes, it's the same. It is the same thing, but it's what a structural tension chart is missing is what is the overlying principle reason. It's because it starts at the tactics.
Okay, so it's the why. That you're saying on the structural
strategic.
Strategic.
Okay. Strategic. Okay. Yeah. So for example, so you're 30 days and you're well versed. So let's say for example, your strategic plan is to get your business up and going strong. Okay, just go with me here. Okay. So your strategic plan is to get out of the gate strong and get a good foundation to my business. Okay. The tactical is to earn your cab and is to develop your first 5 clients and earn your cab. Okay. And the action steps are to make your share list, do your three-way calls with Jack and Sue, learn how to place an order, learn how to start my clients within the first their first 5 days. Do you see what I mean? So does that make sense that way?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Good. In practical application of aim to stay makes so much more sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
What island and where are you?
I am on Maui.
Okay, I'm born and raised from Oahu.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Yeah, I have been to Oahu many times, but I haven't. You know what? I have to tell you, we came to Maui and I haven't left. Yep. And I can't do. Okay. There we go. My younger son was making fun of me because I wasn't doing it right. But you know what? Love this island. I love that we can work from wherever we want to go. So, okay. And Claudia, you had a question.
I did. I've never heard what is it